Hi, this is Sherry Dinkins, your instructor in English 110. Here's a video on how to format in Microsoft Word. I hesitate to encourage folks to use Microsoft Word because there are 4 or 5 different versions, some of them paid by the year, some paid by the month, some are free. So any instructions I give may not fit the version that you have. So I really encourage people to move to Google Docs, which is actually quite a bit easier to use. And you can save your documents on a server that you don't have to keep track of. So wherever you are, you can sign on to Google Docs and find your documents. So let's take a look at how to format in Microsoft Word. And again, this may be a different version than the one you have at home or at work, but I'm hoping some of the ideas are helpful for you. So when I'm pasting in stuff from different sources, there's lots of weird things that happen, like I get shading behind there, different fonts. So the first thing I'm going to do is Control A or just select everything. And I'm going to change it to Times New Roman or Times. Whatever you have on your computer that says Times is fine. I'm also going to change it to 12 points. If I have a lot of links and weirdness in there, what I can also do is go to Clear Formatting to get rid of any weird like blue hyperlinks or shading that keeps sticking behind there. So I'm going to try that first. Now I'm going to go back and change it to Times New Roman 12 points. All right, so I'm part of the way there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the spaces in between my sources. Now you can see I haven't done my any of my summaries, so this is going to look a little bit weird. I'm going to put in the indent, the hanging indent. So I'm going to go to, oh gosh, actually I'm just going to put on view, make sure my view ruler is clicked on. So when I have the ruler clicked on, I can see how to pull over the indent. So it's much more difficult to do this in Microsoft Word than it is in Google Docs. So I make sure I have under view that ruler is clicked on. I'm now going to grab the indent and pull it all the way over to 1/2 inch. Now I need to try to grab just the top triangle and drag it back to where the gray and the white starts. So I'm creating a hanging indent just from the ground up. Now I'm going back to the home button. I'm going to double space my document, but I don't want to click here. What I want to do is go to Line Spacing Options and make sure that both of these boxes say 0. Sometimes there's an embedded formatting where one of these is 8 points and it will goof up your formatting, and even though you keep clicking on 2 in that last menu, it won't fix it. So I always want to check under Line Spacing Options. Make sure these are both at 0, make sure this is at double, and I click OK. So it's looking pretty good so far. Now clearly I haven't done things like italicized the name of the publication, so I've got to go back through. If I clear formatting, this will fall away, so I need to go back through and fix that. This is the one from the database, so you can see that the MLA Works Cited looks different. It often includes a DOI number, Document Organizer Indicator. I think that's what it is. So it looks a little bit different from the other ones, but it's still correct. Now, as I'm glancing at it, what I want to do is come up here and do my page numbering. So I'm going to go up here and click on, I think it's under, oh gosh, I'm sorry, Microsoft Word just is not as easy to use. Nope, insert. So I want to go to insert, and your menu may look different. Page number, I always want to avoid the header features. They're not going to help me for MLA Works Cited. This one only gives me the choice to put it at the top or the bottom. Yours may have different choices. It says align to the right, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. As I'm looking at it, it is the incorrect font, but I can change that. When I try to put my name up there, it goes all the way to the left, but I can fix that as well. So as I can see, my last name isn't in the right place. Instead of trying to like hand space it over, which is very time consuming and often not very accurate, I'm going to go back to the home page and go here to where it says, do you want to push things to the right? Do you want to align them to the right? And my answer is yes. Now I notice that this still has some space in between, so I'm going to kind of drag my margin over so these two are a little bit closer together. Before I move off of this page, I'm going to try to grab both of these items and change my font to Times New Roman 12 points. It didn't grab the number, so I've got to actually click on the number separately. So again, I really am suggesting that students move to Google Docs You can copy and paste your Microsoft Word document into Google Docs. You can actually upload it into Google Docs, so you're not going to lose a lot of time, and you'll have a lot more matching videos to help you throughout the course. So now that I've got those two changed, I can click back in here. So notice that the summaries are hooked up to each of these works cited entries, so they're not a separate item. So each of these summaries are not pushed down below, they're actually hooked up right next to each of these works cited entries. So not a great video, but I'm hoping this might help the few students who are still using Microsoft Word. Of course, I'll have to save my document as a docx, put it on my desktop or somewhere where I can find it, and then actually submit it to Canvas so that it gets credit as a rough draft or final draft. Thanks so much for watching.